All right, Shalom, with a Great Millstone Watchman Philadelphia camp. My name is Lamad, and to my left is Micah Allah. And we want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the sincere Akim out there laboring in true sincerity and making their calling and election short diligently. We're out here on a Thursday, so our camp spot, we teach in front of the Barnes and Nobles at Broad and Cecil B. Moore, and it closed at 6, so we're out here, doing a studio show until we were able to go out there. So today's lesson is basically we're gonna talk about the destruction of Babylon. We're gonna entitle this lesson "Coming to America" because contrary to what our people believe, America's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. That's why, we have our signs and illustrations to basically tell our people, what's going to happen before it happens. Because that's what our job as prophets is to do, is to tell our people before it actually happens. So the one feature article we have is it's called 15,000 Nuclear Weapons in the World, and it says mapping who has what. So it's getting into how I didn't get a chance to highlight the main points, but so right now, you have of course North Korea doing all kinds of nuclear missile tests. You have the United States about to do their war games, military drills on South Korea, which is basically that's like them flexing on North Korea, their power. But in this illustration right here, you can see that it says global nuclear weapon fact sheet. All right, and you have on the U.S., the United States, which is we know is Babylon according to the scriptures. It says 6,800 nuclear warheads, whereas you see across you have Russia, which has 7,000. The UK has 215,000. France has 300,000. UK has 215, France has 300, Israel has 80, Pakistan has 140, India has 130, North Korea has 60, China has 270. And then you see another chart which just says, deployed, undeployed, retirement. And at the top of the list you have as far as the nuclear missiles possessed, you have Russia ahead of the United States, and right behind Russia is the United States. All right. And when you look at our sign, like the one we got in our bag that says what does it say? End of the world.
End of the world, according to God.
Yeah, and then the other one that has the illustration of the nuclear missiles. Basically, those countries that I just named or whatever, you see a lot of those missiles coming to America.
Yeah.
That's why, in the scriptures, you're going to have, we could see this happening. You're going to have America and its allies going up against certain allies of Russia, and you're going to have even America's allies turning on them according to the scriptures. So, let me see. Oh yeah, as you're telling me, I'm gonna put it on the camera. Yeah, it says United States and Russia still maintain the world's largest stockpile of nuclear weapons, holding 92% of the world's estimated 15,000 nuclear warheads. It says while today's arsenals seem quite excessive, they are actually quite modest compared to historical totals, such as during the Cold War. In 1986, for example, there were actually 70,300 nuclear weapons globally. But luckily for us, the number of the warheads has eased down over the time as countries disarm more weapons. And like we always say, the fact that these nuclear weapons, they were basically manufactured through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for the ultimate destruction of America for a reason. They weren't just built in vain. So next it says it says while this number of warheads continue to slide down as a result of the increased international cooperation, it says the Brookings Institute has grouped the 9 countries with nuclear arsenals into categories that identify prospective entrances to the global arms control regime. And let's see, does it have any more pertinent information? What's this? Uh, yeah, I guess it's just showing you, yeah, where you have nuclear weapons stored, where you have nuclear weapons plants and labs, nuclear power plants, routes used to transport nuclear weapons and its components. Um, all right, you agree? What's? Hold on, give me the scripture so I can put it up here.
It's Isaiah 54:16.
Hold up, Slovakia.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 54:16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy." So that instrument is talking about is the ICBM missiles, man. You know, which we bringing out in here, and those are coming to America. All right. And it says, like the brother said, man, the Lord put the spirit on those dudes to create these weapons, man. That's why it says, "Behold, I have created the smith." And the word for smith is craftsman. What's that? As,
Artisan.
artisan, engraver, graver. What's that? All right, it says carpenter, craftsman, engraver, maker. All right, the maker. That's the point right there, the maker. Now these dudes create these weapons, man. All right, so it wasn't on their own free will. They just went to sleep one day, woke up like, oh, we're gonna create nuclear missiles. All right, the Lord had to put the spirit on them to do that, and that's why these missiles are being made. Why? Because they're gonna be used. And how they're gonna be used for World War III to bring fire to Babylon, aka America. All right, that's why we taught this lesson coming to America. It says, and it says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and bringeth forth an instrument to his work, and I have created the waster to destroy it." All right, so the waster to destroy it, that's Esau, man. What the weapons, man? The ICBM missiles to destroy it. Destroy what? Destroy America, and wherever else that those missiles go to. But ultimately, America is going to be the only place that's Salaki, that's 100% destroyed, man. It's going to be the biggest graveyard on the face of the earth.
Yeah, this is Psalms chapter 7 verse 13. It says, "He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He hath ordained his arrows against the persecutors." And basically the term arrows is basically referring to the thermal I'm sorry, intercontinental ballistic missiles, because you could basically shoot them as you had before. You had archers, which were basically back in the days, they were like almost like how you would have riflemen or snipers or something like that, which they were able to shoot their arrows from a far distance. But we're talking about the Most High's arrows, and the Most High's arrows, they're not gonna be, they're not gonna miss their target. They're gonna be shot from one continent to the other. That's why they're called intercontinental ballistic missiles. So you can shoot them from the surface of one country into the atmosphere, and the warheads will come. The rockets will separate till it gets to its trajectory, and the warheads will, it'll have multiple warheads, and the warheads will hit their different targets. So, one thing that you had America talking about it's a missile shield and all that, but it's no way, with the amount of missiles that are going to be coming to Babylon, there's no way you're going to be able to, hit all those missiles. Just like if somebody throws if you're fighting somebody and it's a bunch of people throwing like flurries at you all at the same time, you're not gonna be able to block all of them and stuff. So that's kind of like what's gonna happen to Babylon. That's the logic of that though.
I got another piece of for you. Back of what you're saying. Just the book of Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 13.
16 verse.
13. All right. It's the book of Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 13. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss," like the brother just said. So wherever these arrows that this speaks of in Second Ezra, those arrows are talking about the ICBM missiles. All right. So when they it's basically what the guys do that um manufacture these things or make them, they put coordinates in there to wherever they want it to hit. Like you got your longitude, latitude, and all that. So they basically map it out on longitude and latitude where they want these missiles to go and where it's going to hit at. You know. So that's how it says wherever they sent, it's not going to miss. All right. It says, "For strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss." They sharp. So when they say they're sharp, that means they on point. They're going to go where they're intended to go. All right. It says, "And it shall not miss when they begin to shoot into the ends of the world," right? So that's how you know it's not talking about regular arrows right there. If you're shooting it into the ends of the world, so that's from one end of the world to the other end of the world. All right, that's talking about the ICBM missiles. Because an arrow, an archer cannot shoot a arrow from. I'll give him 100 yards, man. But you can't even shoot an arrow from a couple miles, man. And this is talking about arrows going from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth, man. So that's talking about your ICBM missiles, which are coming to America, man. You know?
Yeah, I was trying to show an illustration of it.
Or the missiles. That's cool. But yeah, so that's another, that's another. Well, that's how you know that it's not talking about regular arrows right there. All right, if it's going to be shot from one end of the earth to the other, well, one end of the earth to the other end of the earth, you know, because you get people that read these Bible, man, and they'll sit there and try to make it seem like it's talking about an actual arrow, man, because they void understanding. You got dudes that do dumb stuff like that, man. Which boggles my mind. They just freaking retarded, man. But
It's the book of Revelation chapter 9 verse. All right, it's Revelation chapter 9 verse 16. It says, "In the number of the army of the horsemen, which were 200,000 thousands, and I heard the number of them." So this is referring to the, like if we had the illustration out, the ICBM missiles, and they were basically, it's talking about the number of them because it's going to be that amount, basically shot at the same time. So this is what it appeared to look like. So it says, verse 17, "And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and in them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and and of jacketh and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstone." So this is that's when we talk about the breastplate, that of course that's like a metal, and then you have the color. Let me see what's that. I believe it's like a bluish purple color. Oh yeah, it's like yeah, deep blue. Yeah, so that's like, basically it's talking about that fire color. When you see like like say for example, like this week or whatever, I was like soldering with a propane torch, and when you light the torch, it shoots out kind of that color, and you need that color, that temperature of fire to be able to melt things and all that. So that's the type of color that it's referring to. Uh, and it's saying it's basically this is a bit John the Revelator, and he's basically describing from what he knows of what it looks like.
Cause he you gotta be mindful back in his time, he never saw no ICBM missile, man, and he didn't know what he was seeing. He was just explaining it with the things that he had in his time around him to compare it to.
Yeah, so verse 18 it says, by these three, Salaga, by these three was the third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. So, once the thermonuclear missiles hit, intercontinental ballistics missiles hit, they're going to destroy a lot of people. That's why we always talk about the 2/3 of Israel that are going to be destroyed in this place called Babylon and don't come out of it, that aren't, given that the mark of exemption. And that's why, we're out here is to basically, sigh and cry for all the abominations that are done in the midst of and to wake up our people, because that's what the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai woke us up to do. You know what I'm saying? So it says, verse 19, for their power is in their mouth, which is the mouth or the head of the warhead. Their intercontinental ballistic missiles, the warheads, which is where all the nuclear firepower is going to come out of. For their power is in their mouth, and in their tails, for their tails were like unto a serpent's, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Because it says they look like a serpent because you can see the smoke, the like exhaust smoke, if you will, coming out of the rockets and all that stuff. It's
Oh shit.
where's it at?
Malachi 4:1. It's the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh by Shem Shai of hosts, that it shall leave them no branch, it shall leave them neither root nor branch. All right. So that day is coming to America, man. That's the day that everybody talks about, that they call Doomsday or Judgment Day. All right. It says that. Let me start that over. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. So yeah, all the proud. Who's the proud, man? You got mainly. Well, I'm gonna say Esau is the proudest of them all. Then you got people. You got our own people that are proud, man. And they do wickedly, man. But Esau is the main one that's proud and does wickedly. Now you got this guy, Donald J. Trump. All right, just look at that dude, man. He's so proud. America is in a very low state right now, and Donald Trump has the audacity to go out there and tell North Korea that they're gonna be met with fire and fury, man. Like they're supposed to be scared. When North Korea's, I believe their nuclear weapons are quite advanced, man. America holds a lot of nuclear weapons, but North Korea is more advanced than America, man. You know. But,
Yeah, and if I may say this, like the thing is, they haven't forgotten like history. They haven't
God,
forgotten what, the United States did to Japan and all that shit.
yeah,
So I
that's
mean,
the
they're not they wouldn't say that they're Japanese or whatever, but when it comes down to it, I'm sure they're gonna um that Moabite Ammonite spirit, they haven't forgot. They still, just like how you have how can I say this? Jake tries to, unifies all black people coming together and all that stuff, but they still recognize that America did something to, their people that look like them and all that.
yeah.
So they're, like, I was talking to my dad and he was saying you could better believe that, you know, North, when it comes down to it, there's a lot of people that they're going damn near, like, North. I mean, I'm sorry, Japan. They had something called kamikaze pilots, and I think kamikaze means like divine wind or something. But what happened was, you had the pilots, and they basically killed themselves in order to kill American pilots and all that stuff. And I mean, they're gonna come in. You better believe they're gonna come in that same like
That's
spirit.
right, man. Yeah, and that means they down to die for their people, man. You got Jake talking that shit. Yeah, I'ma die for this. I'ma die. They ain't ready to die like that, man. Like them North Korean people. You got them Ishmaelites. They ride the same way, man. And then, like the brother said, they recognize what happened, man. They still have memorials about that Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. To this day, they still hold a memorial on the anniversary of when those things happened. So you think that they wasn't going to advance their weapons and prepare for a third world war when it comes down to it? And they was doing the kamikaze fights back then, man.
Yeah, and then I mean the fact that the United States came over to the Koreans' land and basically took it over. I'm sorry, set up their puppets and all that stuff in South Korea, and they're basically trying to, you can see that they're trying to take it over and take them out of power, and basically just like how in the United States you had the Gadites making peace treaties with the so-called white man. He basically stabbed them in the back and all that. You don't think the North Koreans are thinking the same thing?
They unlike you Negroes, man. The next thing that comes along, you get sidetracked or distracted. The North Koreans not getting distracted. They got their eye on one thing, man. They just had. Matter of fact, it was a couple days ago. They had the guy Kim Jong Un. He went missing. Well, I think he was hiding, man. You know, ready to set it off. That's how intense it is right now, man. At any given minute, all hell could just break loose, man. You could go to sleep tonight, wake up tomorrow, and they declare martial law or something, man. Just like you have those things, like one thing we always talk about that's coming to America, is the race wars, man. Which we have the race wars right now, man. You know, we got the race wars right now down there in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Virginia.
You know, and that's another thing's coming to America. Well, it's already here. We used to say the RFID microchip is coming to America. It's here now. All right, but it's just not mandatory. All right, but let's believe it's going to be made mandatory. You know, get another one. Second Peter
10, 9.
3 and 6. Yeah, kind. Well, actually, that's Zephaniah 1.
Zephaniah 1.
Yeah, 1 and 2. All right, this is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 2. It says, I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith Yahweh. I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heaven and the fishes of the sea. It says, in the fishes of the sea and the stumbling blocks with the wicked, and I will cut man from off the land, saith Yahweh. All right. So what land you talking about too? That's America. All right. Well, this land, all right, this time it's going to be America, and other parts of the world, but America's going to be completely and utterly destroyed, man. All right. It says to cease, come to an end, to come to an end, to make an end. So yeah, a primitive root to snatch away. That is to terminate. All right. Consume, have an end, perish, X be utterly, man. You know. So that means this place is completely done, man. There's no coming back for it. And it says, and it talks about the stumbling blocks too. You got a lot of dudes out there teaching false doctrines, talking about a flat Earth doctrine. You got dudes out there even talking about gravity don't exist, man. You know, because your hair grows up. Like, what type of?
How is that pertinent to what's going on right now in the
gun. You know
world?
what I mean? Them dudes talking about some
Yeah, like yo, where does the rain come from? Because the
cut.
clouds they can't hold that much water
Yeah,
and stuff
cut.
like that.
Then the guy gonna talk about some, yeah, man. What he say? He said, oh, gravity don't exist because birds fly. What the fuck are you talking about, man? You know? But then you got dudes that actually follow after these dudes, man, and they stumbling blocks. But guess what? It says in the stumbling blocks with the wicked, and will cut. And it says, and I will cut off man from off the land, saith Yahweh. And no, when matter of fact, it says, I will consume man and beast, and I will consume the fowls of the heaven, and the fishes of the sea. Now that's when you gonna have them ICBM missiles hitting the seas, man. All right, because you're going, all of them ain't going to hit land. You're going to have some hit the ocean. And guess what? When it hits the ocean, you just when you get them tidal waves. All right, so all the water's going to push off on land. So that's going to destroy the fishes of the sea, man. You know?
Look what happened when a little bit of radiation or whatever contaminated in Fukushima, Japan, and all that stuff.
Right, yeah, kind of. Then you even had you had the Lord doing that in various places now, as far as like all these fishes just turned up dead, man. I forgot exactly what place it was, but the whole it was like a lot. When you looked in the ocean, all you saw was fish floating on the top of the sea. You know. So yeah, so that's just a little quick lesson. This is part one, man. We're gonna do a part two. You know, but with the things that's coming to America. You know, right now we gotta get ready to go to camp. And with that, shalom.
So